Welcome to Posture and Performance Podcast. I'm your host, and today we're going to talk about something that quietly shapes how you move, how you train, how you age. And we usually don't think about it until pain forces us to. Posture. Not posture as sit up straight, pull your shoulders back, but posture as a system, a constantly adapting relationship in between the nervous system, muscles, joints, breathing and gravity. In longevity science, we often talk about cardiovascular health, muscle mass, metabolic health, even brain health. But movement quality, the foundation, is what determines if we can train those systems safely over decades. Today's episode is about where postural training fits into longevity concept, why aligning the body matters before loading it, and why having the ability to perform basic movements correctly is maybe one of the most underrated longevity tools we have. To unpack this, I'm joined by my friend and colleague Alexa, and we are going to start simple. When people hear about posture, they usually think how they sit or how they stand. But from your perspective, Alexa, what is posture?
Posture is not a position, it's a strategy. It's how your brain organizes your body to tackle the gravity on a daily basis. Walking, standing, running, lifting. Posture is not static. It's dynamic, adaptive, and deeply connected to the movement. If the posture is off, the movement becomes compensatory. If it's well structured and aligned, the movement is efficient. Over time, the difference between these two will show whether the training is gonna improve our body or wear it down.
So we can understand that posture isn't just about looking straight, that is more about having a body that is functioning normally.
Good posture means that your body segments are organized in the way that your system is suffering the least amount of stress. The thing with bad posture is that it doesn't hurt immediately. Let's take some compensation, like let's say you had an ankle sprain and you compensate to the other side simply because you have the pain. What happens over time, the science says that it takes about 100,000 repetitions to create the movement habit. So for a person that is active and let's say having 10,000 steps a day, it takes about only 10 days to create the compensation, the compensatory movement that shifts the weight to the other leg. And what happens over time, you will heal your ankle, but if the pattern of shifting the weight stays with you, it can wear the other side over time and you can start feeling the pain on the leg that was initially preserving you from feeling pain.
Longevity topics often focus on how we train, on which intensities, what supplements do we take, but where do you see postural training fit into bigger longevity picture?
Posture is the gatekeeper of our longevity. You can have the best program in the world. Strength, mobility, intervals, cardio. If your body is not well aligned, those tools will only wear down the structures. Longevity, on the other hand, is not about avoiding the stress. It's about applying the stress intelligently. We want to make sure that the stress is going into the muscles and the soft tissues that can actually adapt, not into the passive structures that wear down by applying the stress in the long term.
That being said, well-balanced posture is what allows training to be sustainable over decades, not just months.
Exactly. A well-aligned body can absorb the force, can rotate efficiently, breathe well, and recover better. On the other hand, misaligned body compensates, and in the long term, compensation will cost you. That simple.
Both of us read and studied from Gray Cook. He has one famous quote saying, "Move well before moving often." What exactly does that mean?
Well, most people will do right the opposites. They will increase volume, speed, and intensity before they own the basic movement patterns. Walking, running, squatting, pulling, pushing. So repeating those compromised patterns will only reinforce the problem. It will not solve them. So to answer your question, move well before moving often means restore the movement quality, coordination, and the flow before you start increasing the speed, intensity, and adding more loads to your exercises.
That sounds almost paradoxal in today's fitness culture.
Unfortunately, it is. We're seeing a huge trend of pushing the competition in the fitness. We're seeing the high rocks, the CrossFit competitions, and similar kinds of events where people with very low quality of movement are trying to compete with top level athletes, and it often doesn't end up well. We're talking here about the longevity, and it's not about how much you can tolerate today, but how much will you be able to tolerate in 50s, 60s, and beyond. We have to start looking at the movement quality as an investment. It's easy to acquire it, and once you have it for a lifetime.
Let's talk about safety. Why is alignment so crucial when we talk about long-term joint health?
It's about the force distribution. We already told that well-aligned body will drive the forces into the adaptable structures. You know yourself that people always say my back tightens up with a certain kind of training. But it often happens that particular kind of training is not even the problem, but the way that their body is organized while performing that training is what creates the stress.
We often get asked to share some exercises to strengthen the lower back. People tend to ask us, "Coach, I have weak lower back muscles, please give me some exercise to make it stronger." And then I usually reply with, "Okay, how do you know that your lower back muscles are weak in the first place?" And then they tell me like, "I feel fatigue, I feel tightening up of the lower back when I'm doing the exercises." And then I say, "Okay, show me the problematic exercise where you feel the back tightening up." And then in 99% of the cases, when we observe the exercise, their lower back that was supposedly weak is actually the only muscle stabilizing the spine. So the lower back is not weak muscle, it's just overused muscle because it doesn't have assistance from other important muscles. So when we speak about posture alignment, this is pure example of it. Pain is not sign of weakness, but it's a sign of compensation.
I agree. Our nervous system is in charge of setting up the postural tone, and it does the best with what it has. Doing the postural training, improving mobility, coordination, and the muscle awareness will give it better options, and it always results in better outcomes.
In your work, initial session is functional assessment. Why is assessing someone's movement capacity and quality so crucial in your approach?
Because guessing is expensive. Everybody has a different history. Sports, injuries, surgeries, lifestyle, etc. Functional assessment will help us uncover which impact did all of those leave on somebody's movement quality. From there, we will identify where is your body stable, where does it compensate, and where does it need support and the correction before loading.
If I'm a coach who is not doing functional movement assessment or any movement assessment, the name is not important, and you are doing it with your students and clients, what practical difference will your clients have comparing to mine?
Most of the coaches will count loads and repetitions. The client who does the movement assessment will get the starting point of his movement quality. If it turns out that his movement is limited, correction becomes the priority number one. Then we can talk about the loads and repetitions. I believe that we brought something very unique and valuable to the local market, and that's qualitative movement standard.
One thing people usually don't connect with posture is breathing. So can you explain me a little bit more how these two connected?
We cannot separate posture from breathing. Our ribcage, pelvis, spine, and the core muscles form a unique pressure system. If that system is misaligned, our breathing becomes insufficient. That will affect our oxygen delivery, our stress, and the energy levels. From the longevity standpoint, this is huge. Posture has a tremendous impact on the breathing and the other way around. That's why we use a lot of breathing drills to improve the posture. But we noticed that it's the other way around. If we use some other tools to improve the posture, usually the breathing pattern becomes better.
Some people may hear this and think they need to have perfect posture before training. Is that the goal?
Not at all. There is no such thing as the perfect posture. The goal is adaptability. Can you align when needed? Can you move efficiently under the load? And can you tolerate the stress? Postural training is not about freezing the body in one position. It's about giving it options. Longevity lives in options.
Today we talked about posture, breathing and stress under one roof of longevity concept. If somebody wants to take just one thing from today's episode, what should that be?
Longevity training starts with how well do you move, not with how much do you move. Posture is not an accessory thing, it's the foundation.
With that statement, we can conclude today's episode of Posture and Performance podcast. If today's conversation opened your mind a little bit about your training, your body, and long-term joint health, that was our point. Until the next episode, move well.